Believe it or not, I just discovered Insurgency. Insurgency 2014. It's released in 2014, a couple of years ago, and it still has a surprising amount of players playing it on a daily basis. About 500 a day, which isn't bad at all, especially for a game this old. And it being a tactical shooter, this is also a massive achievement, because tactical shooters, believe it or not, are not as popular. And that should tell you that Insurgency, in fact, is doing something right. So me being me, I did a bit of a background check to see what this game is like for other players. And most people say this is the first tactical shooter they've gotten into, and that has welcomed them to the tactical genre. So this game serves great purpose for us tactical lads. And for some players, this game is even nostalgic. And I only found out about this game now. Now Insurgency, it is a tactical shooter, and it's built off of Valve's Source engine. Now the previous version of this game was called Insurgency Modern Infantry Combat, and I actually knew about that game. But I didn't know about Insurgency 2014, which is like 100 times better. Insurgency Modern Infantry Combat was a free mod for Half-Life 2, released back in 2007. Now after Insurgency Modern Infantry Combat blew up, they saw the potential they had in their hands. And then they decided in 2012 to raise funds for an actual game called Insurgency 2. Yes, I know I'm getting confused with the names as well, just bear with me. Now this game is actually set in Iraq and Afghanistan. And that is something strange for me, because usually games don't say the countries' names. But before we go on to that, even though the game is set in two countries, Iraq and Afghanistan right now, the game is broken down into two factions. And those two factions, they consist of the security forces, which is Americans obviously, and also the insurgents, which is the terrorists. And with that comes appropriate weaponry that is divided into a class system, which does in return make the game more fun, because not everyone will be allowed to have an RPG or a sniper rifle. But with the RPGs being mentioned, I just wanted to say that the explosions in this game are one of the best I've ever seen. The map design in Insurgency 2014 is some of the best I've ever seen in a game. And some people even say that Insurgency 2014 has better maps than Insurgency Sandstorm, which is the sequel. But one thing that they did get right with Insurgency 2014's maps are the atmosphere. It really does feel like you're there. And with the game actually portraying real countries like Iraq and Afghanistan. And you sometimes even see the country's flags waving around inside of the maps, which just adds like the sense of immersion to it. Another thing that this game absolutely nailed is the background noise, because some maps you even hear like this turrets from the sky, I don't know what you call it, UAVs, and the jets flying over and gunshots in the background. And me being a veteran Battlefield 2 player, I thought they were commander abilities. So I was a huge scaredy cat and just stayed inside of the buildings before I got bombed from the sky. And with some of the maps you can even hear the people's voices inside of the buildings, a mosque playing music, and it really feels like you disturbed their peace and they just disappeared back into the houses. And some of the maps even have propaganda, which just again adds the sense of realism about the stuff that actually happens in the Middle Eastern countries. Now one thing I always loved is games with classes, and that I mean customization in the firearm department. And that, my dear friends, is rare in games, especially with a huge variety of firearms. But in Insurgency 2014 they provided it with a smile. And no, it's not the usual of pumping your firearm, getting your armor and going out. This time you are provided with an allowance, so you can choose between a flashy firearm with top-notch scopes, foregrips, silencers, everything you need, or you can provide that money towards another department like the armor section, so you can live longer and have a basic firearm. Almost all, if not all of the maps have a day and night version, so if you do not spend your money wisely, you will die. With that I mean you will have to buy attachments for your firearm, and lack in the armor department, so you will have to get a flashlight or night vision goggles or a laser sight, preferably a flashlight and night vision goggles. Otherwise the opposing force might blast you back into your mother's womb, and we don't want that, now do we? And the customization system in Insurgency 2014 is not over the top, and I personally love it because it keeps everyone uniform and everything in order. With that I mean, you cannot create monstrosities in the firearm department, meaning you can't just equip drum mags here with a shotgun under barrel with a flamethrower on the side, stuff like that. You cannot do stuff like that, and I like this. You gotta remember that tactical shooters aim for realism, and in real life you don't do stuff like that because you do have people above you, a sergeant above you or an officer above you that will slap you in the face if they see a shotgun under barrel with a flamethrower on the side. And the firearms in Insurgency 2014 was done perfect in my opinion. The reloading animation is satisfying and it's smooth and it's just so nice to look at. And no, it's not a fast stacky reload like it's in Modern Warfare 2 or in Warzone. It's slow, it's smooth and it's realistic in Insurgency 2014, and that's what we want in tactical shooters. And with the shooting, sometimes I just want to hip fire because recoil patterns are unpredictable and it's satisfying to see the traces just fly towards your enemy. And each gun in Insurgency 2014 feels different to shoot. It's like they have their own personality, so you get to choose your favorite. And the weapon sounds in Insurgency 2014 doesn't sound bad at all, and I actually like it. I prefer it above the sequel, Insurgency Sandstorm. For one reason and one reason only. It claps. It really sounds like the gun is packing a punch, which it is. And not only shooting, getting shot at feels great as well. It feels so weird to say getting shot at feels great, but really it does. If bullets hit metal, it makes sparks. If it hits dust, it makes this like little explosion in the ground. It really just packs a punch. This is something they did correct here. And especially when it comes to the RPGs and grenades and stuff and the explosions, like I said before, this game really gets an A+ from me when it comes to explosions and immersion. And even though the game is a tactical shooter and it is fast paced, it isn't a Modern Warfare style game. You can't just run around like you're on drugs and just do whatever you want to do. You will get shot with one bullet and you will die. But the best part about this is the game has single player support. Sometimes the bots in this game can really get annoying. Yes, they aren't always the smartest, but if you choose the right game mode like push, the bots are actually fun to play with. So let's say one day you don't have internet to play online, you can now play offline with bots and still enjoy the game. This game also has community made content, which is always a plus from my side. Just like Brudex said, modded games will last forever because the community will just keep on making new content and you won't get bored of the game anytime soon. So with that being said, I would like to end this video here. With the link in the description, you can get Insurgency 2014 on a discount and still support the channel. And with that also being said, thank you guys so much for all of the love and support I've been getting recently. I cannot appreciate it anymore. Like seriously, it's insane. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys watched till the end and actually enjoyed the video, please hit that subscribe button and the like button. And I make videos like this basically almost like 4 times a week, so just go scroll through my channel and you'll find something you'll like.